Hey fellow readers, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is Series Sisters. How you doing?
I'm doing. How was you? How was your week?
That's a nice blue.
Thanks. I did not make it, but I did pick it out.
I didn't expect you to have made your own clothes.
That's always
I didn't make this either.
I know, but when people compliment my clothes, it's like, thanks. But are you complimenting the maker? I get confused about what to say.
Okay, so I should be more specific in my compliment?
I guess. Or I should just not be an idiot.
Well, that's a good one. Oh boy.
I just made sure that was all centered.
Oh.
Whatever.
It wasn't.
Oops. I tried to make sure.
We had our first snow this week.
We did. It was a big one.
It
for
was
a first
a
boy.
big one. Somebody back there?
Not anymore.
Oh.
No, it was, people were sliding everywhere.
It was not great.
Crashing. It took me usually 20 minutes to get to work. It took me almost an hour.
Yep.
Because driving slow was fine, but then there was one turn where I'm supposed to go left, and there were cops blocking it, and they were like directing everyone to go through this parking lot, but then the parking lot, the exits were just hills, and I was stuck in that parking lot for a while.
Hold on. Was it on 29th?
Yes, 29th and Adams.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to know what? I got to that spot because I was taking the youngest to daycare.
Uh-huh.
And I think a school bus was, like, stuck in the snow there.
Were we at the same time? What time was this?
It would have been 8:20.
I probably just left when you got in there.
Oh, okay. Because we couldn't go through the intersection, so I was like, oh, well, shit. So I was like, well, I'll just go through this parking lot. So I went into the parking lot. I tried to go up that hill, and I just start sliding backwards.
I couldn't even go.
Oh, you were just stuck?
My tires were like,
Mine went up, and then I went back down.
Were there people behind you?
Luckily, there was nobody behind me because
God.
I could not stop.
That's
I was
so
like
scary.
turning my wheel, trying to get it to get traction.
Yeah. I tried. I couldn't get out, and so I turned around and was like, well, there has to be another exit out of this damn parking lot. So I tried to go out the other one, but there was not. I would have had to cross traffic, which is just not happening.
I don't think you can, because there's
a median. Okay. So I went back to the first one, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I just stopped way far back, saw my opportunity, and I just fucking flew it.
Oh my god!
But then I made a U-E. Did you have to make a U-E? Because I go left on Adams. You guys don't care about this.
I did not, because I had to go left because her daycare is that direction.
Oh, okay. Well, I pulled a U-E, and then I went up to the stop sign, or the light, and I was going to go right because everything's blocked off. And the cop came up to the window and was like, you're not going to have any more luck going that direction. And I was like, well, thanks for telling me. So he directed me to go a different way, but it was a mess.
Yeah.
Such a big mess.
I could go on quite a while for that. Because,
awful.
Every time I tried to go one way, it was either somebody was stuck or,
Yeah, or there was a crash, or the person in front of you crashed right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, awful.
Cool.
You said you slipped.
And then, I was getting out of my car. It might have been like the next day after it had melted, but then froze over. And have you ever been like falling, but it's going so slow, and so you can holler out something?
Usually my hollers are just, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Because I was like, I opened my car door. I'm holding my cup.
Of course.
And
just one?
Just one cup. I only had one beverage that day. And my feet like slide out from under me or something. But it felt like I was going really slow as I was going down. And I was like, no.
No,
it wasn't even like
happening. It wasn't a scared no?
It was just like that. No.
Did mom and dad get it on their camera?
Oh, probably. I don't know if it records or not.
Damn.
So
missed opportunity.
That was funny.
I slipped getting into my husband's car. I was trying to start it for him, but for some reason his like mat is really slippery. And then it had froze over from the snow juice.
Okay.
That had melted and frozen over. And so I put my foot in there and I just slipped. But I was in the car, so I didn't fall on the ground. So good news.
I think that'd be funny to see you falling.
Yeah, I'd lay there for a while. I'm not getting up until I've accepted my fate.
Yeah. Let's see. I got a mammogram today.
You got one?
It was my first one, guys.
Oh, did they? Mom always said that they like have the lights turned down low. Were they setting the mood for your boob squish?
No, I think it's probably set down low because it's like an X-ray.
Oh.
Kind of. They're taking a picture.
There was no candles and low music?
No.
That's too bad.
She could have set the mood, I guess.
She could have. You know, they should. It's a weird process anyway. I haven't had one yet. No. Okay.
You should be fine. Your boobs are bigger.
That's true. It'll be easier to squish.
Yeah. But I was kind of worried because Mom was like, "Oh, it's just terrible.
Yeah,
it
Mom
hurts
makes
so
it seem
bad."
like the worst
and I'm
thing.
like, "It can't be as bad as getting a Pap smear." And she's like, "It's just as bad." No, it's not. It's not that bad. It's not great. I didn't enjoy it.
But. Right, but it's a small price to pay to make sure.
Get it together.
Get it. She's got sensitive skins.
Really?
She's a delicate flower.
No, she's a complainer. I love you, Mom.
So what do? They put your boobs in a machine and then they just squish them? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it a cool machine? Is it like rounded for the...
No.
I imagine something from like... I've got Futurama on the brain. So I see like a machine with cutouts and you put your boobs in.
No. That would be funny though. And then just like squish it.
Yeah.
No. It's like a table and then another thing that comes down to squish it.
Oh, so you gotta just flop them onto the table.
Well, she picks it up for you.
Oh, God. Okay.
So, yeah.
Are we not capable of flopping our own boobs? And
they
then
have to have it in a specific position.
Well, if it's not in the right position, then she can adjust it. But, excuse me, I'm going to lift your boob. Like, that's... It's just very silly. I used to put my boobs on the table at lunch in high school. I used to walk them up. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. Should we get started?
We should get started. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you what I remember.
Yes.
I'll tell you what he said.
Tell me.
Okay. Where should I start? We got Red, Redaris. Mm-hmm. She and her twin sister, Neve. Mm-hmm. They just turned 20, and Red went up in that Wilderwood, and she met the Wolfman, who is not the dude that starts with a K. It's Eamon instead.
Correct.
And that's his son.
Kiaran. Yes.
Okay. And Gaia was the first Red lady.
Yes, second daughter.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes and like trees are being weird. Mm-hmm. And that one lady showed up as a shadow creature, and she was all like, "I'm a shadow creature. Ooh, spooky." And then Nevra was in that one little place where only fancy people go for special occasions.
The second room of the shrine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And the one, maybe priestess lady, but maybe not because they're not supposed to wear jewelry, had a splinter necklace.
Yeah. That's not bad.
I feel like that was great. That was great. Story over. Isla is the mom and she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Rafe is the lover, is a childhood friend, but the lover of Neve, who is engaged to Eric, who's the lover of Red.
Nice job.
Gina Grams can kiss my ass.
Who? Oh, okay. Don't diss on my Gina Grams. I'm trying to remember the very last thing that happened so I can pick up where we left off. Because what's my last... Oh, he wants Red to learn how to use her magic.
Yes, and she basically said no.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
But you gotta fucking learn, okay? Have you seen any movies or no? I mean,
No.
come on. I'm sure she's read books, okay?
She's read books.
Well, then she should know.
Okay. Oh, sorry. If that was loud on... Yep, it was. On the recording. Okay. So, we're going to start
Hold on.
Oh, shit.
I'm just moving this so I don't hit it and make a loud noise. Stop. Okay, fuck it. Okay.
Are you done?
Yep. I didn't want it to hit my knee.
Okay. We'll start with Neve.
Okay.
So Neve and Rafe were hanging out in the library.
Really?
Yes. No. They don't do that.
Hmm.
She's betrothed.
That doesn't mean shit.
So they're hanging out in the library. Neve decided she wanted to go to the shrine again.
Mm-hmm.
So they make their way towards the doors that lead into the garden. And they saw a small procession of priestesses coming in from the gardens. After the midnight vigils, when it became clear the kings were not returning, most of the priestesses who had traveled from all over the country departed. The vigil stopped at sunrise, and it was now well past noon, but this small group of priestesses were just now leaving the shrine.
What are they doing in there?
And they were led by the red-haired priestess.
Ooh, they're doing weird things in there.
Probably. The red-haired priestess broke away from the others and went out another door that led back to the gardens. So Neve was like, what's she up to?
Sneaky shit.
Mm-hmm. So she left Rafe and went to follow the priestess. She walked out into the garden and overheard voices like on the other side of the path.
Okay.
There was some flowers and stuff that was blocking her vision, so she couldn't see who she was listening to.
She could just hear him.
But she could hear him. What about a bargain? Said a hushed, hoarse voice. The priestess said, It's not a hoarse voice. Nay.
What about a bargain?
Bargain?
Bargain. Whoa. Anyway.
James Baxter. That was Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Okay, a horse. Like it's
HOAR.
tired and scratchy.
Got it.
Okay. So what about a bargain? Priestess said, impossible. The Wilderwood has twisted. Its power has grown weak. It will no longer accept paltry things like teeth and nail clippings. Not even blood if it's not from a fresh wound. No, a dead sacrifice will no longer do. The other voice said, there has to be a way. The priestess said, if there is, dear boy, you must be prepared to give and keep giving. The kings take much, but they give much in return. Serving them brings opportunity to your door. The disheveled-looking boy stepped out onto the path. Thank you, Kiri, he said. So, her name's Kiri.
That's fun.
It was Eric.
I was going to say when she called him a boy.
Yeah. He didn't seem surprised by Neve's presence. Eric, Neve said, we've been worried about you. He looked terrible, like he hadn't slept in days. He gestured for her to follow him. She sat next. Come on. I think he was just like, hey, come over here. Bruh. Ew. How are you? Not well, he answered. There has to be a way to get her back. I can't just let this go. If there's anything worth fighting for, it's her. And not even because I love her. Just because it isn't right. She deserves a life too. Then Eric told Neve he would be gone for a while, and he stood and left.
He's going to do something stupid, isn't he?
You'll see.
What a dummy. If she didn't tell you she loved you back, okay,
But
brother?
even...
I know it's the right thing to do, but whatever.
It's not that I'm like an Eric lover. It's just that I get it. Red woke the next morning. She bathed and dressed and opened the door to find a tray of burnt toast slathered with butter and hot coffee. She assumed it was probably from one of the voices she had overheard the day before. She couldn't imagine the wolf making toast.
Well, he didn't make it successfully if it's burnt.
Well, yeah.
Who broke the good toaster?
She sat down in the hall and ate her breakfast, and then she noticed, at the end of the hall, a bright white sapling stood, tall and thin. What was it Eamon had said? If a sentinel tree was infected bad enough with rot, it would leave its place and show up in the keep. Red walked in the opposite direction of the sapling, into the foyer, just as the door opened. A feminine form stood with a cloud of curls and a curved blade in her hand, dripping with blood.
That sounds scary.
Radaris? The woman said. I'm Lyra.
Leah!
No. That was so loud.
I know.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I spooked myself.
Lyra. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just think of another reference. It's fine.
Oh, jeez.
It's fine.
Red could see her clothes were covered in blood. Are you all right? How are you walking? Red asked, concerned. Lyra said, don't worry. Eamon is the only one that slices himself up on the spot. He's the wolf. It likes his blood straight from the vein. It isn't as picky about the rest of us. I used about 5 of these. She held up a small vial filled with blood. Lots of shadow creatures out today. I needed to come back and replenish my supply. Confused, Red asked, that's your blood? Lyra explained that it was either hers or Fife's. The other guy.
That's a fun name.
Fife. They both had the mark.
Barney.
Yeah. No. I like Barney Fife.
I do too.
Silly. They both had the mark, so blood from either of them would work on a shadow creature. Their blood could also hold saplings steady for a day or so, but it doesn't do anything for breaches. Red followed Lyra to the dining room and sat at a table. Or the table. They don't have a bunch of tables in the dining room.
There's 4 tables, and they chose one.
You said you have a mark? Lyra said. Anyone who's bargained with the Wilderwood has one. Red thought and couldn't figure out why their blood worked on the shadow creatures, but her blood caused the forest to attack her. She'd much rather use her blood than use her magic. On her way back to her room, Red saw a man examining the sapling at the end of the hall. She thought this must be Fife. He pulled out a vial and poured it on the roots of the tree. Nothing happened that she could see, but Fife turned and asked her, did you do anything to it this morning? Red said, to what, the tree? Fife said, yes, the tree. Did Eamon tell you to do anything? She said, no, he told me to stay away from it, from all of them. Fife turned back to the tree and said, well, this should hold until Eamon can get to it, since he is apparently still determined to do this on his own. Red followed Fife through the castle, asking questions. Fife explained that his and Lyra's blood can keep the saplings stable long enough for Eamon to move them back to where they're supposed to be. They walked outside, going...
What happens if it dies?
It doesn't die.
Then what are they keeping stable?
So they keep it from starting to rot inside the castle.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Until he can...
Put it where it goes.
Mm-hmm. Now I lost my place.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. They walked outside, going around the side of the castle, and see 3 more saplings that have appeared. The shadow rot already starting to make its way up the roots. Fife explained that Eamon would have to heal these first because they've already started weakening. He has Red follow as he points to a spot in the forest outside the fence where there was a black spot on the forest floor, like the one she and Eamon had seen the day before.
Okay.
Fife explained that was an empty place where one of these sentinels is supposed to be. It felt the Shadowlands pushing through, so it came loose and regrew here at the keep closer to Eamon so he could heal it.
So the trees kind of have a personality.
Kind of. They're like, I don't like this. And then they go to the keep.
Gotcha.
I don't like this.
Don't touch me.
So Red asked, so the sentinels are good? Fife said, they aren't good, but they aren't bad either. The Wilderwood has a job to do, and it takes what it has to in order to do it. Red said, and what it has to take is blood. Five continued explaining, Eamon has the strongest connection to the forest. Only his blood can heal breaches. His blood or his magic, whichever he feels safest using at the time. Me and Lyra can slow down or kill shadow creatures and stabilize the sentinels, but Eamon is the only one who can really fix anything. Well, Eamon and you.
Yeah, if you learn how to use your damn magic. Hooker.
Whoa.
Sorry.
I gotta adjust.
Okay. Adjust.
Not bad.
Thanks.
Five warned Red to stay inside the gate, and he went back inside. Something caught her eye beyond the gate. A shape rising from the mist and falling back into the fog before she could quite make sense of it. The shape bobbed up again, like someone who'd stumbled, forcing themselves back to their feet. As the shape got closer, she could make out the form. Her heart sank in her chest. None but the second daughter could pass into the Wilderwood. Red, Eric gasped. Shocked.
Is it really him?
Red said, Eric, why are you? He said, open the gate and let me in. I'll tell you everything. Red said, you shouldn't be here, Eric. I don't know how you got past the border, but... He said, I came to save you. Let me in, Radaris. She said, I don't know how. There's some kind of enchantment on the gate. I don't think it will open. Eric's demeanor changed, and he said, I know how. Come to us, second daughter, and we'll show you.
See, she's a not real guy.
Something was wrong. Frustrated, Eric threw himself against the gate. His hands turned to claws as he raked them across the metal. Nails elongating, darkening. Black filled the whites of his eyes. The thing wearing Eric's face lunged forward again. A black claw reached through the gate and wrapped around her ankle. Red screamed and lost control of her magic. Vines erupting from the earth and latching onto the creature's clawed hand. It howled and lurched away. Suddenly, the wolf was there, pulling Red backward away from the gate as he ran forward. He opened the gate with just a touch.
How do you do that?
What?
Pull her back as he's running.
He
okay.
Get the fuck out of the way. The shadow creature reared up and started taunting the wolf. Eamon sliced the back of his hand with a dagger and then backhanded the shadow creature. It broke apart, disappearing, as it said, only a matter of time. I think I'll use that for my shadow creature voice.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. Eamon's pissed. What about last night made you think approaching anything beyond the gate would be a good idea? They argue for a moment about how it looked like someone she knew, and it looked more human than the one from the day before. Eamon sighed and agreed with her that it had looked convincing, and he apologized. She asked, would it have gone away if I bled on it, like you and Lyra and Fife? He said no, but she could tell he was lying. He tried again to convince her to learn to use her magic, because he couldn't keep the Wilderwood under control much longer by himself.
It feels real selfish.
But she refused. Eamon left to go close the breach before another shadow creature came through. Red struggled with her thoughts. Even if her power was something she could use, every time it surged, all she could see were her memories of carnage. But the Wilderwood was darkening and deteriorating. If the Shadowlands broke through completely, if monsters stalked the world like they had before, what would happen to Neve? And now we go to Neve. Neve ate dinner with Queen Isla, but it was really awkward since Red wasn't there. After awkward silence, Isla said, we should begin wedding preparations. Angrily, Neve said, I don't want to marry Eric. You know that. Isla said, and you know it doesn't matter. Neve finished off a bottle of wine and left the dining room. Something caught her eye, disappearing around a corner. Neve followed and saw a group of priestesses holding gray candles instead of their usual red candles. Yes.
Those creepies, do they worship the gods instead of the wood?
You'll see.
Okay. I mean the kings.
Right. You'll see.
Okay.
Sort of. Kiri, the red-haired priestess, was leading them. You, Neve said. Kiri turned and looked at her. Can I help you, Your Highness? Neve said, You told Eric how to save her. Kiri didn't respond. Neve said, But how do you know? Why didn't you tell me first? Kiri said, It's not everyone who can be trusted with the truth, Highness. Neve said, I can be trusted. I want the truth, Kiri. So Kiri had Neve follow her, and they walked to the shrine, and behind the curtain to the second room.
Second
room. And something was different. The branch shards were marked and streaked with darkness. Neve? She whirled around and saw Eric, a bandage wrapped around his hand. He smiled and said, I found a way. Now back to Red.
What?
Red had worked out a plan. 3 new saplings showed up in the keep the following day, and Eamon looked exhausted, like he could collapse at any moment. Red bottled 3 drops of her blood into a vial and went outside where the saplings had appeared. As she kneeled over the sapling, holding the vial, Eamon's voice came from behind her. What are you doing? She said, I think you were lying to me before. I think my blood can kill shadow creatures and heal the sentinels. He said, It's not quite that simple, but you're right. Your blood can do those things. But the price is more than I'm willing to let you pay, Rodaris. If you give the Wilderwood blood, it won't stop there. She argued, Maybe I'm willing to pay it. Maybe I'd rather bleed on your trees and face whatever the consequences are than try to use this damn magic. He asked,
Are they one and the same?
Blood and magic are different.
Well, I realize that. But, like, there's magic in her blood, which is probably why they want to suck it.
Also, what's this guy doing?
Not sure.
He stood there for a while. Okay. Eamon asked, You fear yourself that much? She said, You were there. You saw how terrible it made me. Because that night, she had that vision of his hands.
Oh, yeah.
When that whole situation happened. He said, I only saw part. I was concentrated on other things. Whatever happened, I'm sure it's not as terrible as you remember it. You aren't terrible. Their eyes locked. And finally, slowly, Red handed him the vial. Eamon sighed and said, I've been trying to think of alternatives. Something else we could do. Bound.
Who said that? Is there a little person?
Must be bound.
Who's saying these things?
Must be 2. Like before. Words coming up from the moss on the ground.
Ew, don't talk to me, moss.
Magic is stronger when there are 2.
I thought it was 3.
Oh.
In the world. 3 is a magical situation.
Not in the Wilderwood.
Fine, you're right.
Became a little quieter, like the forest was tired. Eamon's eyes tracked over her face thoughtfully, and then he turned and walked away.
Bound like lover bound?
You'll see. Kind of. Because it wants them to be bound like the first 2 were when they were together.
Fine.
Okay. Red was in her room, contemplating the pros and cons of learning to use her magic. She'd have Eamon there to help, and the image of him entering the keep, bent and bloodied, had stuck with her. He was doing everything he could to hold it on his own, not pushing her. There was a knock on her door. May I come in? Eamon asked. Red opened the door for him, and he stepped inside. There was a long moment of silence, and then Red saw the dagger in his hand. She jumped back, her eyes wide. Eamon looked at her like she was crazy until he realized what she was looking at. He said, I'm not going to stab you.
You dumb bitch.
Have you heard of a thread bond? She explained what she knew of them, that it was a binding ceremony, a folk marriage where you don't need a witness or a blessing. Eamon said she was correct, that each person gives a part of themselves. Hair was customary, and bind it around a piece of their new shared home. He pulled out a shard of sentinel bark. Bound, the Wilderwood had said. Must be bound, must be 2. She finally understood and said, "Is this a proposal?" Blushing, Eamon said, "The Wilderwood is trying to recreate what it had before, with Gaia and Kiaran. We can't give it that, not exactly, but we can get as close as possible. And I think it might make your magic easier to manage." Red considers it for a moment. She'd grown up never considering she'd ever be married. But here was Eamon, far from the monster she'd been told to expect. He needed her, even though she doubted he'd ever say that.
Would you say yes? I would, because what else?
What else am I doing?
What else exactly? Am I busy?
I'm not busy.
Yeah.
Nothing on my books. There had to be two, but he wouldn't make her do anything she didn't wholeheartedly choose to do. She said, "If this is a proposal, then my answer is yes." He knelt as she cut a lock of his hair and said, "Did you do this with the others? How many wives have you had now?" He said, "Just you." Eamon then cut a lock of Red's hair. As they wound their hair around the bark, the magic coiled in Red's center felt lighter somehow. Binding herself to Eamon, to the Wilderwood he ruled, made this shard of magic she carried feel more like an integrated part of her, rather than something she had to cage. She decided to tell Eamon she was ready to learn how to use her magic, that if it would help him and help the forest, she would try.
Good.
Finally, bitch.
Right? It took you long enough.
Jeez. The next morning, she met Eamon in the tower for her first lesson. He told her they'd keep it simple and pointed to the ivy lining the tower and said, "You're going to make it grow." He gave her directions and she closed her eyes and started to let go of her magic. But then that night flashed back into her memory, an eruption of branches and roots, blood spraying, rib cages shattered. Neve slumped on the ground. She gasped, pulling air into her lungs. She said, "I can't do it. I thought I could, but I can't." Now...
You didn't even fucking try.
Right. Psh, one time.
Come on.
Fife rushed into the room. Panting, he said, "Word from the edge."
They said pantsing. He runs in and just falls down. Everybody.
And then he runs out.
Gotcha. I'm Fife. That's his exit. His exit line.
I'm Fife.
I'm Fife. Anyway, he's panting.
And he's panting. Word from the edge. Breach to the west, but there's a complication. They were looking for a break in the border again. Found a full breach instead, and someone fell in. Eamon jumped into action, telling Fife to lock the keep and come back to the tower. It was more secure. Fife argued that he should go with Eamon, but Eamon said he didn't want Fife getting hurt. "Stay here," he told Red. "Do not leave the tower." She wanted to argue, but decided just to say, "Be careful."
Be careful, lover.
"Be careful, my new husband, lover." Red and Fife waited in the tower. Red watched out the window, worrying, waiting for Eamon to return. She wasn't sure she even liked Eamon, but he'd saved her twice now.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. He hadn't quite gained her friendship, but he had gained her trust. And if something happened to Eamon, what would that mean for the Wilderwood?
You'd be fucked.
Yeah. Would the burden of it fall wholly to her? And what would happen if when she inevitably failed? Watching her, Fife said, "He'll be fine, you know. This is business as usual around here. Well, other than someone falling in the breach. But even that, Eamon can take care of more easily than the rest of us." What did you say?
I said, yeah, that's probably not normal.
The villagers push at the border all the time. Red asked, "What does that mean, push at the border? What villagers?" Fife explained that at the edge, and that's with a capital E, so it's kind of like that's what they call it.
Okay, it's the hit place.
Yeah, the hit place. So beyond the Wilderwood's northern boundary line.
So further.
Yeah. Descendants of the explorers who tried to see what was behind it long ago. So it's kind of confusing. Anyways, there's some explorers that were exploring. Okay. When the borders of the forest closed, they were still back there. They were trapped.
Gotcha.
The Wilderwood won't let them through, but that doesn't stop them from looking for weak spots.
Okay.
Thinking they can find a place that will let them out. Red was consumed with too much anxiety to ask any more questions. She just said, "He just looks tired." After a moment, she asked, "What did you bargain for, Fife?" Fife explained, "There was a girl. She was in an accident, leg smashed in a stone mill. The wounds suppurated. She grew fevered. Death was inevitable, so I bargained, my life for hers. She married someone else, but it was probably for the best. The Wilderwood closed up only 2 years after that, and it called Lyra and me in before it did. Fools with bargainers' marks, and a debt to a forest. I would have left her a widow." Suddenly, like a strike of lightning,
Oh, shit.
Red had a vision. It was Eamon's hands again. Hold it.
Loves them.
She loves his hands.
Just loves them
Those
hands.
are some nice hands.
Love the hands. You were at the hands?
The hands again. Mm-hmm. Holding a dagger, palms running with green threaded blood, and beyond them a shadow creature. The creature raised its clawed fingers before slashing down. Red's vision snapped back to the tower. Fife asked if she was okay. She said, "I saw Eamon getting hurt by something dark. I have to go." "Absolutely
you don't know that it
not."
was now. Could be any time.
I mean, maybe.
This is her first vision.
This is her second, because the first one was his hands.
Okay. It's her but the first one doesn't come true either.
I mean, it kind of did. His hands in the dirt when her hands were in the dirt.
Hands. But I'm sure that's going to happen again. Could be different hands
we don't know
and dirt
much
time.
about these visions.
Okay.
But let's say they are in real time.
Okay.
"I can't just leave him. I have to do something." Fife reluctantly agreed and went with her. Red and Fife trekked through the forest, searching for Eamon. They heard a roar and ran in that direction.
I think if I heard that, I'd run in the opposite direction. Roar!
Roar! When they reached him, Eamon was still whole, but both palms leaking blood. Bloody handprints marked the ground, and there the edge of the rot receded, barely. Already the small amount of forest floor Eamon had managed to clear was rotting again. Red took a step back and ran into someone she at first thought was Fife, but they clasped their hand over her mouth and whispered, "Quiet," in her ear. The creature, stalking back and forth in front of Eamon, might have been a man once, but now the way he moved was wrong, low and lurching, on legs with knees bent backwards.
Gross.
Mm-hmm. There was a fraction of a second where Eamon's face looked close to helpless, but then he sliced into his palm again. "Help him," Red hissed. So the guy let go of her mouth.
Okay.
I'm like, she's talking now, but help him. "What do you want us to do, girl?" The voice holding her whispered, "Our blood won't do shit for the Wilderwood, and we don't need someone else getting shadow infected."
Oh, no.
Eamon knelt and pressed his bleeding palm to the earth again. This time, the shadow rot didn't recede at all. He couldn't stop it alone.
Better get down there and slice some shit up.
Right. Red's body made the decision before her brain did. She lurched forward, out of the grip of whoever was holding her back. She quietly moved along the edge of the shadow pit. Eamon's gaze snapped to her, the frustration in his eyes blazing to fear. Red opened and closed her hands, summoning her magic. The dark memories tried to rear up, but her fear for Eamon eclipsed it.
Sorry, when you said she opened and closed her hands, I thought of Sky High. Because he does that.
Oh, yeah.
With his fire.
Wow.
Sorry. It's a good movie.
Is it?
Yeah,
You love it.
I do.
Red took another step closer, and she stepped on a twig, snapping it.
Dummy.
Yeah. The creature's head swiveled to face Red. Eamon sprang in front of her, and the shadow's claws raked him instead, slicing through fabric and flesh. The sight of Eamon heaped on the ground in blood was a reminder of what her magic could do, so she decided to use blood instead. She grabbed his dagger, cut into her palm, and slammed her hand to the ground. The rot quickly receded. The sentinel tree righted itself.
Weird.
Yep. Eamon looked from the bloody dagger to Red's hands, horror on his face. The tide of her magic turned, no longer rushing out, but rushing in. Something slithered against her hand in the dirt, a tendril of root working its way into the cut in her skin. The forest laying claim.
Gross.
Yeah.
Slithered
it wants in there.
Ew.
Eamon lurched from the ground, pulling her out of the dirt. Eamon's forearms now lined with bark, the veins in his neck and beneath his eyes going green, the whites of his eyes now emerald. Leave her. This one isn't yours. The Wilderwood gave a sound like a sigh.
Like a teen.
So, okay. The creature is now transforming back into a man.
Okay.
But he's in a lot of pain because, like, his bones were all broken. Now they're breaking back into place and stuff. The man who had held Red back, his name is Valdrek, said, "Thank you. We can take it from here." Yeah, now we did all the hard work, guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
Red now noticed other people, all in the same muted green and brown clothing. They must have been the villagers from the edge. Fife continued explaining to Red that once... Oh, so she's sitting with Fife, kind of just chit-chatting now.
Right. Wearing down from all the excitement.
Just kind of catching her breath. And he explained to Red that once the Wilderwood closed up and the villagers were stuck inside with no way to return or contact the outside world. They grew old, had children, who in turn grew old and had children. Now there's a whole country of them back there, providing entirely for themselves. So there's like a whole little group of people
community
back there in the forest. Valdrek said, "Why exactly is the forest still so weak? It should be strengthening. Isn't that the point of you getting your new blood?" Meaning Red. Eamon said, "It's Lady Wolf, not new blood." Valdrek said, "Oh, well, that's new. Congratulations, Wolf."
Whoa.
Five left the group to head back to the keep. Behind them, the shadow-infected man, muttering nonsense under his breath.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do well.
Red looked back over her shoulder, and his blind, milky eyes stared right at them. "Solmir says hello, Wolf," he said. Do you remember who Solmir was?
He was somebody's betrothed. But she didn't want to marry him. The original chick.
Yeah, Gaia. Eamon stood frozen, a look halfway between terror and rage. He grabbed Red's elbow and led her into the trees so fast she almost stumbled. Solmir, Gaia's betrothed, one of the 5 kings. Red was about to ask Eamon about it when the cut on her hand felt like it was on fire. Eamon grabbed her hand and covered them with his own, and in a breath her cut was gone, reappearing on his palm. Red explained to Eamon that she had had a vision of him in pain, and that's why she came to help. After a moment of silence, Red said, "He mentioned the name of one of the 5 kings. Why?" Eamon said, "The Shadowlands imprison shadow creatures and mythic beasts, but the 5 kings are in there too. And contrary to current religious belief, I
They're
have no
bad
way to
guys.
let them out. Not unless you want everything in prison to come with them." So, in the
not great.
last episode, I
Sorry,
said,
my nose was like real itchy.
"Are you okay?"
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I died.
Right, yeah, itchy nose, right.
Okay.
I had said that we didn't know what the 5 kings were even doing,
Right?
but now I remember.
Okay, they were doing something.
They were doing something, and we'll find out soon. I don't know what their original bargain was.
Okay, but they did bargain.
But they bargained to get rid of all the monsters and trap them in the Shadowlands.
Okay.
Okay? So this is news to her that the 5 kings are in the Shadowlands. How did they end up there? Eamon said, The kings made their bargain to trap the monsters away, which took all the magic to create the Shadowlands. 50 years later, the kings decided they wanted the magic back and tried cutting down the tree where they made their bargain.
Idiots.
Yeah. Greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it opened up a hole to the Shadowlands, and the Wilderwood trapped them there with the monsters they'd banished.
Well, that's kind of what they get.
Yeah. Red asked, that still doesn't explain why he only mentioned Solmir, if all the kings are there. Aemon said, who knows? Don't think too much of it.
She's not telling her something.
Shadow infection affects your mind as much as it does your body. But Red could tell he was hiding something. They passed through the gate to the keep, and Lyra opened the door. And when were you planning on telling us you got married? Aemon muttered, delightful. I'm going to kill Fife. Okay, now back to Neve. Neve attended a meeting with her mother.
Meeting.
Advisor of trade and the high priestess.
Okay.
As well as Kiri and a few other priestesses. So they were just discussing the shipping of trade goods.
Okay.
But most of Neve's thoughts were on what she saw in the shrine that night with Kiri and Eric. Magic. Magic Kiri claimed they pulled from the Shadowlands itself. The small experiments she saw in the shrine were convincing enough. With that power, trees could be withered, fields stricken dead, fertile farmland turned dark and cold. The meeting ended and everyone left the room. Neve could see Queen Isla still sitting and a sheen of sweat on her forehead.
She is sitting.
I thought maybe I had said still shitting. I don't know if I did or not.
That'd be cool too.
And she is sitting. A sheen of sweat on her forehead. Neve offered to help her to her room, and Isla said, I might be ill, but I'm not an invalid. Bitch. Her mother stood and stumbled out of the room. Neve headed to the shrine to speak to Kiri. They discussed how old the high priestess was and how Kiri wanted Neve to name Kiri as the next high priestess. Kiri said, once I'm high priestess, I will hold quite a lot of sway with your mother. Perhaps enough to get you out of marrying Eric. Perhaps enough to push her toward someone else as your betrothed. Kiri lightly touched one of the leaves on the hedge next to the shrine. It browned, withered, and fell. This was what the twisting of the trees in the shrine bought. The second piece of the dual reward for weakening the Wilderwood. So the two rewards for weakening the Wilderwood. The possibility they could debilitate it long enough to let Red go.
Okay.
And then this power of death and decay. Kiri said, come now, first daughter. You could do it too if you wanted. All who gives blood can.
Don't do it.
Neve said, no thank you. The power doesn't matter to me. Only weakening the Wilderwood's hold on Red so she can escape. So Kiri's been doing shady shit in there. And so she has like this
creepy power.
Yeah.
And not make it grow.
Right. She's doing the opposite.
She's killing it.
She's doing the killing it. Killing all that stuff. Back to Red. Several hours after dinner, Red was in her room reading. She heard a noise at her door. It wasn't quite a knock, more like a nail scratching on wood. Red opened the door. The hall was empty, but then she saw it, right by her doorway, a sapling. More saplings were scattered throughout the hallway.
What the fuck?
They hadn't been there when she came back from dinner. Aemon's warning from earlier rang in her mind. The Wilderwood is restless, and every time it tastes your blood, it seems to get worse. As she backed into her room, she tripped over newly grown vines sprouting with thorns. One drawing a bloody line over her ankle. The forest erupted. The window in her room burst open, vines slithering in. They wrapped the walls in seconds, crushing the bed, curling around the wardrobe.
Like Jumanji.
Yes. Just
Scary shit.
like Jumanji.
Scary shit.
She started to run, but remembered her cloak, the one that Neve gave her. Damn if the Wilderwood was taking that from her. She ripped apart the vines from the wardrobe, grabbed the cloak, and made it out of the room just as the ground broke apart, her room collapsing.
Jesus.
Stone rained from the ceiling of the corridor, littered the floor as vines and roots rioted through and broke it apart. Red! Eamon thundered down the stairs. Bare-chested, hair...
Oh, B-E-A-R?
Hair unbound. No.
He's got a bear's chest. It was really weird.
I'm confused.
So he's shirtless.
He's shirtless
and his hair's wild.
His veins already green as he called up his magic. He lifted his hands toward the corridor and then curled his fingers into fists as if taking a hold of something, and then he jerked them back.
Oh, shit.
Boom. He'd pulled the Wilderwood in and then lashed all that power down.
Lash it down,
Lash
brother.
it down. The forest had no choice but to obey. So it's kind of like when she would shut off her power or whatever. That's what he did. He took it and shut it down.
Shut it down.
Fife and Lyra came running out of the dining room. Eamon said, "It's getting worse. It's never been like this." Containing the Wilderwood's magic had given Eamon about an inch more in height. Lyra...
Weird.
Well, anytime he uses magic, like,
He gets
there's
more
changes. So, like, the bark that
Okay.
comes up I think he's got, like, a ring that won't go away now.
Oh.
And usually it goes away, but he took so much that...
It's,
Yeah.
it's stuck there.
I think that's so all the, like, weird changes that happen to him are because of it. Lyra offered for Red to sleep in her room so she would sleep on the floor. Eamon said, "She can have my room. I'll sleep in the hall."
I feel like you got a lot of other places to go when you're going to sleep in the hall.
Well, he's like, there's only 3 beds and there's 4 of us.
Isn't it a castle?
It is, but I mean, there's not a lot of beds.
Get some blankets. It's fine.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if they have couches. I'm not sure.
I feel like it's furnished.
They don't mention couches.
Okay.
As soon as they entered his room, Eamon started trying to straighten up the mess. He had clothes all over the floor and books and papers strewn about. Red told him he did not have to clean up, and she noticed the bandage on his chest and stomach was soaked through with blood. He told her where to find...
Oh, let me address your wounds.
Address them?
Redress and address.
Let me address the wound.
Well, I have to address it. Hello.
Okay.
And then redress it.
Okay. He told her where to find new bandages. And as she was changing his bandages, she said, "You have to let me try and fix it." At first, he said no, and she argued with him that she could do it. All she knew was she wanted him safe and she cared for him. So she wants to do like what he does when he takes the wounds. Finally, he gave in and gave her very specific instructions on what to do to take some of the pain as her own. This time, when she used her magic, she was only thinking of Eamon and wanting to help him. It made it easier to shape instead of thinking of Neve and Carnage. Red.
Who's Carnage?
Is that her boyfriend?
Oh my god.
Oh, you're funny.
I know.
Red, stop.
It's
Eamon
too
yelled.
much. You're killing her.
He opened her eyes. She opened her eyes.
Red.
And he said, "You took too much. Damn it, Red." She looked down and saw blood blooming across her abdomen.
Uh-oh, now he's got to address her wounds.
Oh, but not nearly as awful as his had been. She'd taken only part of it, not all of it. Once she saw the blood, her mind remembered to feel the pain. Cradling her stomach, she said, "Shit, you've lived with this all day?" Eamon tried to voluntarily sleep downstairs, but Red convinced him to stay in the room.
I bet she did. Bet she said.
That was really loud. I know. He lay on the floor with a blanket. Red asked him if he snored, and he said, I used to. It's been a while since someone was in a position to tell me if the issue persists. She asked who it was that told him he snored. He told her. Her name was Thera. Red said, not a second daughter? Eamon quickly said, no, the second daughters and I, there was nothing like that, not with any of them. Thera was
Except for you.
Except for you, darling.
Ooh.
Is he a horse?
Ooh, yeah, he's the horse.
Thera was a girl from one of the villages beyond the border. I wasn't the wolf yet, young and stupid. My life was fairly normal, and I could leave the Wilderwood. I'd been staying with Thera in the village.
Fairly normal.
We fought. She wanted to get married, and I didn't. So I came back here for the night, and that night, the kings wounded the Wilderwood, and the borders closed.
Oh, that sucks.
I couldn't leave, and she couldn't enter. It was centuries ago. Haven't been with anyone since. Red asked.
What? It's been a long time.
That's been a little while. A little dry spell. Why not? Eamon said. The Wilderwood is difficult to hold together. It takes near constant...
Not thinking about getting off.
Takes near constant concentration. Especially when I have to keep it from doing things I don't want it to do. There's not much of me left to give to another person. And you? Surely there was someone in the 20 years before you came here. Red said, just one. Eamon asked, if you didn't have to be here, if you could do anything you wanted, what would you do? Red had never considered any other life besides the Wilderwood. She said, I would let my sister know I'm safe. Eamon said, I'm sorry, Red. And she said, I'm sorry too. And then they both went to sleep. And that's where we're going to stop.
They had a lovely
They
conversation.
just had some bonding together.
They did.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, can't remember what it's called. Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
Uh-huh. The Proposal.
Thank you. When they're at his house.
Yeah.
And they have
And they
good
start
talk. Good talk.
singing.
Yes, they do. It's a good movie, too.
It's pretty good. It's not bad.
The thing I wanted to say about the Lyra is from Blades of Glory, when he's talking about his fancy brush.
Cool brush. Not just a brush, but a verticole. Handmade in Italy. They carve it out of illegal whalebone. They only make 11 of them a year. This one cost me $12,000 or 30 million lira.
How much it costs, or 30 million lira.
Oh. Wow. Your brain.
I know. It's awful in there. And nobody wants to.
And it's not even like normal, the quotes that everybody knows.
No.
It's always weird, obscure moments of movies that no one's going to
You remember when you looked at the person next to them?
Yeah.
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 And then they said this thing. Sometimes I'll quote the bloopers from Liar Liar.
Wow.
Anyway, the book is really good.
A lot of them I know because I'm around you, so I know your stuff. But
Yeah.
So you like the book?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it a lot.
We're halfway done.
Okay.
Just about.
That's where we are.
And I've tried cutting out a lot of information, so.
That's all right.
Okay.
Give it to me.
Give it to me, baby. Is that how that song goes?
Well, it sure is.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a good week. Thanks
for listening.
Exciting happening?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
We're lame. My birthday's coming up.
uh-huh. She doesn't care. My half birthday's coming up.
That doesn't fucking count. Doesn't count.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
If mine doesn't count, that's what
Sorry.
you get. If mine doesn't count in June, then yours doesn't count in December.
Fine.
Okay.
It counts. Hope you are following us on social media.
Yes,
And then
please.
subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Please tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends. Call your grandparents. Do it all.
I don't know if grandparents will like
They
us.
will hate it, but maybe they'll hate watch.
Nah.
That was too bad.
All right. Well, thanks
Okay.
for listening.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Love you. Chonga.
Chonga.